good evening, or morning, or afternoon, or night. This is One Too Many, the show where these two goobers compete to be the silliest based on my completely arbitrary criteria. They'll be telling a story with as much razzle, dazzle, or pizzazz as they see fit, and I will judge them based off how much I like that razzle, dazzle, or pizzazz. These are my contestants, Professor Raina Oritz and Sergeant Patricia McFeely. My name is Dr. Jake McVeigh, and I will be your host for the evening, or morning, or whatever. Let's just get on with the show.
Hi, I'm, Sergeant Patricia McFeely, also known as Patsy. I will be awesome today.
Keep your expectations low, because I'm Raina Horatz, and I'm not really a professor. Although, if I were to be a professor, I would teach a class on puppet shows with questionable morals.
Before we start the show, I have to do some small talk, because what is life without small talk?
True.
That's true.
So, if you all were an ice cream flavor, what flavor would you be?
I think you could start.
Sludge.
Sludge?
I would be sludge. I would be like when it snows, but you're in New York, and it's just a mess. It's just like a lot of mud, and there's rock salt in there, and you shouldn't eat it.
But it's oh so yummy.
It's oh so yummy.
It's oh so yummy.
Yeah.
I think I personally would be mint chocolate chip because it's terrible, and mint and chocolate together should never happen, and I think that's what happens with myself. I think that
it should never
my
happen.
two personalities, my two brain cells connect together, and that should never happen.
Understood. That's a good way to defend it.
Enough.
Oh, great.
Today we're going to be telling stories. I hope you brought some campfires and marshmallows because today we'll be hearing stories of mischief and disaster. A time where you thought, gosh, it can't get any worse than this, and then it did. I'm gonna flip a coin now to decide who goes first. Patsy?
So I think that a time that would be great to state is the time my bathroom just broke. Every time my parents leave for the weekend, my family members destroy things, not on purpose. It just so happens that things break, and it's always the bathroom. It always has to do with the bathroom. We don't know who did this, but we like to blame my twin brother that he broke the toilet, and it just started overflowing throughout the whole bathroom, flooding the bathroom, which then caused my two older brothers to try to fix it. They fixed it by just saying, turning off the toilet, this is it, done, we're not touching the toilet for the weekend. So now we had two bathrooms, we're down to one bathroom, and we're like, that sucks. Whatever, we'll get over this. And then my brother went downstairs the next day and saw a little bubble, a teeny tiny little bubble, appear on the ceiling right below the bathroom, and thought, oh, hopefully we don't have to deal with this until our parents get home. Oh boy, were we wrong. So this little bubble, just throughout the day, continued to grow and grow and grow, till I would say it was about this big on our ceiling, and it was this wide and this long, until my brother, as any curious person would do, poked it, and it squished a little. Disgusting. Later in the day, we thought, sucks, our parents will deal with this. Oh, were we wrong. In the middle of the day, my brother was happily playing video games. Hello, Steven, I know you're watching. Happily playing video games. The bubble burst, and all the water that flooded out of this toilet down our ceiling, onto our walls, into our living room, into our dining area, and flooded our living room floor. And that is my story. We had to clean it up, and then my parents got home and were like, how do you do this every time? Could you imagine?
I can't.
Your kids.
I would return them. Just as simple as that.
So yeah, any response retort?
I've got a couple. You know what? I need a platform to discuss. I wish you and your family were less inquisitive, because if there's something in the ceiling that is beyond my comprehension, and the fact that even anywhere in that store, that was self-inflicted. You were like, you know what? It's time to poke it. And
But we don't think the poke did it, because it didn't burst when he poked it. It burst later. That's how we knew it was water, when he poked it.
Burst from rage, from the fact that you poked it.
It burst from the amount of water that was building up, and I guess the ceiling didn't like that very much.
Okay. Was it just water? Someone's got to
There
ask.
was a dog in there.
These are questions we are not prepared to answer on this show.
Unfortunately
Yeah,
not.
but
Well.
speaking of bathrooms.
Speaking of bathrooms, as much as I'd love to keep this show rolling right now, we have a message from our sponsors. Watch them or don't. I don't care.
Yeah, it's a...
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it. Jill
Should we
told me it
tell
was
him?
Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker. Hi, Mom!
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. The segment where we say a quick little message to our moms. Raina, would you like to start?
I'd like to take this time not to say hi to my mom, but to say hi to every mom in the Pixar series. I love you all very much, and I hope you're having a lovely evening. And to my mom, I talked to her yesterday. This is not about her.
I would like to talk to my mom. Hi, Mom. I got these cool earrings. They light up. They're little pumpkins. And I know that you're dressing as a pumpkin this year for Halloween. For those who don't know, which I don't think anyone does, my mother is dressing as the 5 pumpkins on a gate for her pre-K class.
Oh, that's
but there
lovely.
are 6 pre-K teachers, so there's an extra.
Why can't one be the gate?
That's what we said, but we thought,
Yeah, I get it.
who wants to be a gate?
Yeah, don't leave him out. Okay.
The dog dug a hole under the fence, Mom. He dug a hole under the fence, and I don't know if he can still get out from under there. I haven't told you until now. So now that we're done with that, let me recap the scoring real quick, because I don't do a great job of explaining things. So basically, I'm rating everyone's stories off of entertainment value, silliness, and the goofs. If their story lacks any of these things, they get a thumbs down and lose points. It'll sound something like meh. And now we gotta move on to Raina.
So, I love stories. Do you guys love stories? I hope you do. Here's the thing. I am filled with anguish at all times. I'm in consistent amounts of pain with no solution. And here's my story in regards to how something I thought couldn't get worse got worse. So, this happened in November 2013. Specifically, November 24th of 2013. What happened then? What happened then? I know, you're so curious. That is the night that Brian Griffin died on Family Guy. It aired for a live studio audience in front of everyone. That man died. He was hit by a drunk driver and he passed away. Now, I know, okay, we can obviously see why this is a bad thing, right? For many people, they loved Brian Griffin. They loved him. They loved when he drank his little martinis and read his little books on War and Peace. Personally, I was jumping for joy. November 3rd, 2013, whatever day that was the best day of my life. I was trying to make it a national holiday. I thought it was more important than Christmas. Here's when something I thought was bad got worse. 2 episodes later, that's right, 2.
Not one?
Not one. 2. Not even a season, not even a break. It was 2 episodes later, they brought him back. And let me tell you, this episode, they made a very big deal out of his death. It wasn't just like, oh, it's a goof and gab. He died and we grieved. Lois was like, Peter, he's dead. And we were all we felt that. Like little Stewie Griffin, we saw Stewie Griffin cry. We're not supposed to see that. And Brian Griffin died. And they brought him back 2 episodes later, and they were like, nah, whatever. And by the way, in this time they brought in some other freak dog. I don't want any other dog. I didn't want this dog. But here we are, 2 episodes later, Brian's back after going to the vet, dying. I could go on and on and on. But truly, the worst thing that ever happened was that they thought of that, and then they brought him back. I think what's dead should have stayed dead. I think they should have left Brian dead. And I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that to Seth MacFarlane out there. I know you're out there singing Sinatra covers right now. I know you can hear me. What's dead should have stayed dead. I have no patience for this. This was season 12. We're in season 1,000,000 now. Enough's enough. And that's my story.
I would just like to say for the record, I completely agree with Raina. It is 100% absolutely ridiculous that they would go and rip out our hearts with killing off the beloved straight man to Peter Griffin's goofy antics, Brian Griffin, only to bring him back 2 episodes later. If they had let this marinate for even a season or 2 seasons or forever, the moment would have gone down in Family Guy history as the single most gut-wrenching, horrific, real moment of the entire series. But no. They had to bring in Stewie's little time travel antics, and they had to bring in this stupid sob story about this other dog, and they brought Brian back.
To word it in a way that
What
the
was the other
McFeely
dog? I'm
household
sorry.
will understand.
Wait.
Yeah, to word it in a way the McFeely household will understand. Brian Griffin was the bump in the ceiling, and Seth MacFarlane poked it. Was it Steven that did
Steven.
Just like Steven.
Could you
He
imagine?
watches.
Could you imagine if 2 days after you popped that water bubble and it completely destroyed your house, there was just another water bubble back there in the exact same spot?
I think that actually happened in our house.
I'd like to take this time, I'm going back to me really quick. I've put a dog down before, not myself, but I've lost a dog. You brought him back 2 episodes later? How am I supposed to grieve that? My dead dog is disappointed. Seth MacFarlane, do you want to pay my vet bills for killing my dog? Really?
I don't think Seth MacFarlane killed your dog.
I think he had some part in it,
Was
since
he
he
just
thinks it's
sick?
so temporary.
Yeah, it's not a big deal losing a dog
Until it happens to you,
until it
Seth.
happens to you, Seth.
I'm sure it's really, really funny. I'm sure Stewie had a lot of antics with that. Not me,
Pappy,
sir.
do you have any retorts?
I don't know much about Family Guy. I've never watched Family Guy. Prior to this episode, I didn't know who Cleveland was or that he had his own show. I am not the Family Guy expert, nor have I ever claimed to be. I do not know the emotional havoc that Family Guy has wreaked. But I did hear that this happened possibly 10 years ago? 10 years ago?
It was November 26, 2013.
So I think that my only retort
birthday.
is that why are we still talking about this?
Because 10 years is never enough time to grieve.
I'd like to bring up my dog, Griffin.
All right.
Okay.
I
No.
I would love to keep talking about this, but I need to use the bathroom, and you do too. We'll be right back after these messages.
Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Did you pee? I know I did. Let's move on. So, you tell me that you've never watched Family Guy before?
No.
Why?
My mom said I wasn't allowed to, and Raina knows better than anyone about what happens when your mom says you're not allowed to watch something.
That was personal and disgusting to do this on live TV.
I didn't mean to. He asked me why, and that is why.
Okay, my mommy, Amy Lynn Horetz, Mary Fiotti, maiden name. She told me I couldn't watch Breaking Bad when I was a wee youngin'. Have you been Italian? You have been an Italian mother? She said, Raina Emily, you don't watch Breaking Bad just because your brother can. And I said, okay, Mommy, I'm sorry. And now I'm 19. I know, don't I look good for my age? And every time I see Breaking Bad, I go, Mom, I'm sorry. And I can't watch it because I know somewhere out there she's so mad at me, and I don't want to make my mom mad. And you wouldn't either.
No, that's why okay, so I've seen Family Guy clips. Have you ever experienced TikTok?
I've heard of it.
So, you know how TikTok, like, you just scroll through and then you suddenly end up with Family Guy and then a slime video, or Family Guy and then a
Subway
guy
Surfers.
cooking, and then Family Guy,
Yes.
Subway Surfers. That is my only experience with Family Guy. And from what I've seen, I don't know much. I don't even remember the episodes I've seen. I remember Jesus appeared at one point.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I...
He does that.
He does that.
Yeah, but that's all I've got.
Okay.
Sometimes I see Family Guy videos with a hydraulic press underneath, and they crush various objects in a hydraulic press.
I really like those, actually.
They are great videos, can I just say? Watching an object like a metal thermos that is so sturdy and so powerful and so confident just get completely mashed into a little paste by this hydraulic press, I think is pretty neat. Not for the thermos, but for me personally.
Do you want to know what my favorite TikTok videos are? They're the ones that tell me to go to sleep. Not the ones you're thinking of where it's like, are you still scrolling instead of sleeping? No.
Hold on.
I hate those videos. Those are awful. The ones that tell me to go to sleep are the pimple popping videos. And whenever they come up on my screen, it's always late at night, and it's always a reminder for myself, it's probably time to go to bed.
And there's Family Guy audio in the back of it.
Yes.
And it's perfect.
Usually the pimple popping videos are by themselves because it's its own content, and it's always graphic and gruesome. I would not suggest watching it. I find it weirdly appealing.
I can't do it. It's too gross.
In fact,
it's just too gross for
I think
me.
you're a baby.
Next episode of One Too Many, we will be popping a couple pimples on my face up close and personal. So if you want to see that, tune in next week.
Sorry.
Just letting you know.
My dad didn't let me watch SpongeBob because when I was like 5, I think I started calling my little brother or my little sister a moron because Squidward
How
started
dare
saying
you.
that. So my dad took me aside and he was like, "Where did you hear that word?" And I was like, "I learned it from SpongeBob." And he was like, "Then you're not going to watch SpongeBob." And I'm like,
Did you cry?
Was it
well,
actually
no, I
SpongeBob?
didn't cry. It's just SpongeBob. I only missed out on like the best TV show ever until I was 12.
And you know,
Oh, it was Squidward.
Squidward.
so here's
Squidward
the thing
messed
about
it
SpongeBob. When
Sorry.
they went to
just
kill
got jump scared.
Squidward, it was only a goof. It was just a gag. They didn't really kill
Wait,
Squidward.
when did they
Wait,
kill
when did they
Squidward?
kill-
So in the early seasons of SpongeBob, there's this episode where Squidward gets sick,
We have a lot
and
of
they
issues
think
with
that he
characters
dies,
dying.
and they put him in a little coffin, and they're like, "Squidward, we're so sorry we killed you," and they think that he's a ghost. He's not a ghost, and he's not even dead, and it was just a 1-episode thing. And see how that makes sense? Not a 2-episode thing where they grieved it, where they paid medical bills to lose a dog they loved so much. It was a simple little gab. On Breaking Bad, no one ever died. Ever. But
No one
on
dies?
Family
I never
Guy,
Guys, no one
They
dies.
died.
I'm serious.
They died.
No
feel
one
like-
actually dies in Breaking Bad.
they don't.
They just go
But
to
you
sleep.
know,
Why
on
are we
Family
talking about
Guy-
so many shows that I've never watched?
Because I have a lot of feelings. A lot of big feelings
Wait,
about
but you
November
never watched Breaking Bad.
26th, 2003. I knew he'd back me. He's seen Breaking Bad.
I have seen Breaking Bad.
And I haven't, Mom.
Breaking Bad is a great TV show.
Mom, I haven't. Mom, stop. I haven't. Please.
Just a reminder for those of you tuning in. First of all, you're late. I'm mad at you. And second of all, we're judging these stories based off entertainment value, silliness, whatever I feel like. And I think it's about time we get to the points. For Patsy, I gave you plus 1,000 points for suspense. I was on the edge of my seat pretty much the entire time, except for the end. I sat back a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. And I gave you 2,000 points for payoff, because I think it was a really great payoff hearing that your house got a lot of really serious water damage.
Thank you.
Raina,
Hi.
I gave you a whopping 10,000 points for mentioning one Brian Griffin. And I gave you an additional 5,000 points for mentioning how he was killed. I'm gonna crunch a few numbers here.
I didn't stand a chance.
Plus 2 is
2,000 plus 1,000
plus 5.
is 3,000.
5 and 5
It's
is
gonna be close here, folks. Stay on the edge of your seat. Do the
11.
math at home if you want.
12.
Um,
13.
This is torture at this point.
No, it could be you. It could.
all right. You guys talk while I'm crunching these
You're
numbers.
being
I
so
can't
mean.
figure
You know
this
what's
out right now.
torture? Dying by a drunk driver being brought back 2 episodes later for goofs and gabs. You know what's torture? Losing your best friend, POV I'm Stewie Griffin, quitted Brian. And comes back 2 episodes later.
I'm so sorry.
Just totally
I need
has
you to keep
read-
doing impressions.
I can't. That was the only 2 I got. I'm sorry. I do some really good Daria impressions.
Oh,
and anyone wants
gosh.
to hear it. Gertie.
He's dead.
He's dead, and that's not okay. You can't play with my feelings like that.
He's
I miss
dead.
my boy.
Whereas he's canonically dead on One
And
Too
you
Many.
know what? I don't even like Brian Griffin. I don't even care about him. I mentioned that earlier. I think he's a jerkwad. I think when Quagmire had that little speech where he's like, and you know what, Brian? No one likes you. I think he was right.
Okay, I'm still
That's a
crunching
real
these
head
numbers,
scratcher,
but
man.
something's been on my mind. Why do you hate Brian so much?
I think he reminds me of me.
Has this been always on your mind, or just because she just said it
Well,
right now?
I mean, we've been
I
sitting
think I
here
see
for what?
myself.
The better part of 25 minutes discussing how much Raina hates Brian Griffin. I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is just a little bit unjustified. Have you ever thought that maybe he's just a silly cartoon character and maybe it's, I don't know,
Would you be sad if I got hit by a car and died?
well, yes, but
Dude,
that,
I
what does
need
that
to
have to do
cry.
with anything?
Erroneous,
How does that have to do with
erroneous.
anything?
I need
No.
to cry right now. You put Raina winner.
I didn't put Raina winner.
You wrote Raina winner.
That's an empty spot for winner. I'm gonna write the winner's name there.
I see myself as a bit of a Brian Griffin. You know me. I like to sit and hold a martini. I like to talk to pretty blonde women. My
You
best
are a
friend-
pretty blonde
my
woman.
best friend's a little baby, and we go on adventures together. And I read a lot of books. No, I don't, but I tell people I read a lot of books.
What books have you read?
Pride and Prejudice and the Bible and
Prejudiced.
and how to. Yeah, and I've read all those, so I get it. I don't like that dog. Maybe because I don't like myself. So if you make me lose this episode today, this might be my last episode.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking of making Patsy win this episode just because I don't really like you at all.
Oh, okay. Well, you wouldn't be the first person. But could you bring me back 2 episodes later?
Jake,
does that sound logic?
The suspense is killing me.
The suspense is killing you.
I need the winner.
Okay. I'm still crunching a few more numbers. Patsy,
Please.
tell us about the aftermath of the water damage in your home.
No! I can't do it anymore, Jake. I can't do it anymore.
Just like...
The aftermath was that my dad lost all the hair on his head. He's been struggling since. The Yankees haven't been doing well. The man is stressed. This happened in 2016 too. Wait, no, yours didn't happen in 2016.
2013, November 26, 2013.
Oh, sorry. So this happened in 2016, I think. Our house is fine. We don't have a hole in our ceiling anymore. And,
Can't really see it, but it says Raina circled right here.
That's my name. R-A-I-N-A.
All right. So after all that suspense, after all that waiting, Raina is our winner. Give it up to Raina.
Yeah, be excited.
I'm sorry, but I don't know. I feel a much closer personal tie to Brian Griffin's death than I do to the water damage in your house. I'm really sorry.
If you rearrange the letters in Brian, you get Raina.
Wow, I never noticed that. Whoa!
Raina, I think it's time for your winner's
Give your
speech.
victory speech, Raina.
All right. It seems today that all you see is violence. Good old-fashioned values on which we used to rely. Shout out Jay Leno.
Not Jay Leno again.
All right.
Anyway, I'm done.
And now, Patsy, you get to give a loser speech because you're a loser.
This is a disgrace and a travesty on me and the McFeely family. I feel so much regret. Please, please, God, let me win the next episode. I need it. I need it. This is disgraceful, unjust. I don't deserve this. Please. I need a chicken sandwich right now.
I was gonna say, I know it's like Halloween time, but do we really need to keep on putting up all this scary imagery right now?
Dude, this
It's
chicken
really kind
sandwich
of
is
freaking
too
me
much.
out right now. Our live studio audience is getting scared that we definitely have.
Eek! That was them. Did you
Dude.
hear it? Eek! That
Our
was
live
again.
studio audience is so formal right now.
Hey, live studio audience, do you think I'm pretty? Guys!
Wow. This live studio audience is just too good.
Okay.
Well, that was about 30 minutes of your life that I'm sure you wish you had back. And as much as I'd love to keep wasting that time, we are very close to wrapping things up today. I would just like to say, before we end, Patsy, what are you going to do next time to do better? Because I'm not going to lie, I'm a little disappointed in your performance today.
I'm gonna do nothing. I think that Family Guy is stupid. I think that it's wildly inappropriate. I think that my mom is right and that no one should watch it. Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Like,
I am butthurt. Get that guy out of here! He died.
They brought him back.
End the show. I'm tired of it.
That's the whole
all right.
That's like everything I said.
Well, Raina,
Yeah.
how do you feel about winning?
I feel great, and I haven't been allowed in my dorm for the past couple weeks. My roommate, she's been calling me a blatant disappointment, so I've been sleeping and cuddled outside the door, so I hope she lets me back in now.
All right. Well, that was weird. We hope that you enjoyed today. I hope the rest of your day is a 6 out of 10, though. This should be the best thing that happened.